to South Orange Public Library and our special program today. I'm Beth Halliday. I'm the head of Children's Services here. I hope I look familiar to you. And thanks for tuning in, or should I say, zooming in. I might have to get a new joke, but couldn't resist. So today's program, Celebrate Reading, is not just about celebrating reading, or particularly it's about celebrating the joys of reading out loud. And as a librarian, I did a little research before I came into the room. I am in the room alone, and that's why I don't have a mask on. Otherwise, within the building, everybody has to wear a mask. We are following all the protocols as prescribed by the village. And I should add that we are open 5 days a week and Sundays. So during the week, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 6, Fridays, 9 to 5, Sundays, 1 to 5. We are available to answer questions. You are welcome to come in, browse, pick out books. We are really happy to be able to be open. And yeah, email us at children@sopl.org if you have any questions. This month is our Makers Month, which is going to be extending through the month of April and culminating in a really big event, Makers Mayhem on Earth Day. Hopefully we'll be able to be outside if the weather's good, and we have some really good things planned. Okay, back to reading out loud. So I did a little research and I found out that although the spoken word language is millions of years old, reading is actually a recent invention, 6,000 years old. Well, I'm really grateful for that. And when people started reading, they started by reading out loud. That was the only way to share reading because not until the invention of the printing press did people have access to their own material. So reading out loud was the first way that people were reading. And reading out loud is really a wonderful thing in terms of, yes, getting your kids to love reading, but also it increases kids' vocabulary, their attention span, but also it's about the joy of a good story. And I'm happy to say that when I go to the schools in town, which I'm not able to do now, or when kids came here, I would ask, who has a story before bed? And I could say almost 100% that everybody had a story before bed. That made me really happy. And I know my happiest moments were reading to my kids. My 3 daughters, and now my grandson Teddy. I read to him every Wednesday on FaceTime, and hopefully, he'll be sitting on my lap someday and not FaceTime, but we're having a really good time doing that. And so let's get started. We have some guest readers who are going to zoom in and read some of their favorite stories out loud. And it's not just about adults reading out loud to kids. Kids can read out loud to adults too, right? It's all about sharing a story. Okay, so I'd like everyone to introduce themselves. And I think we're going to start with Meti.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Is it me now? Okay. Okay, my name is Meti. I work at the library. I'm sure most of you might see me there. I work upstairs and downstairs. And today I picked a nice story. It's a kind of fun, and I'm going to read it for you. Okay, my story is called today Goldfish on a Vacation. Written by Sally Lloyd-Johnson, picture by Leo Espinosa. Goldfish on Vacation. Published by Schwartz Books. Is the cover. It has children holding goldfish in a bowl. You see the book or no?
Yes.
You see it? Okay. Sometimes it's hard being a goldfish. You
No,
dream
no.
of, huh? Can you see it? Okay.
Up higher, higher.
Sometimes it's hard being a goldfish. You dream of growing fat and exploring coral reef. But instead, here you are in a bowl going around and around in a circle. And sometimes it's hard being a child in the summer in the city. All your friends live there, no one to play with. You dream of escaping the steamy heat too, but instead, here you are in an apartment going around and around in a circle. But sometimes, when something happens to change all that. This is the title page, Goldfish on a Vacation. Okay, so in a small apartment in a tall round building by the park next to a river in the middle of big city, there lived 3 children, H, little O, and M. You see the 3 children? And in a small bowl next to a lamp in the middle of a table beside the curtains in the small apartment, there lived 3 goldfish, Barracuda, Peach, and Fist. You see the goldfish in a bowl? 3 goldfish. And old fountain stood at the end of their street. It was broken and covered in ivy. See the ivy? No one used it anymore, except to throw garbage in it. But the children thought it was a beautiful. On top of the fountain, there perched as if he had just landed or was just about to fly off, a magnificent stone age with outstretched wings. You see the perch? Grandpa said, the same people who built the famous Grand Central Station built the fountain. And in the old days before cars, horses drink from it. Horses drink from the mountain. How nice. But when people got cars, they didn't need a horse or the fountain, and they stopped taking care of it. The children felt sad for the fountain and the eagle. Then, one early summer day, a sign appeared. See the sign? It says, Hamilton Fountain Water Garden coming in town in 2 weeks, calling all goldfish looking for summer home. That is nice. The children rushed home to tell their fish, you are going on a vacation. Telling the goldfish, Barracuda stared with his big fish eyes. Fish blew big fish bubbles, and Peach sank slowly down to the bottom of the bowl. See, Edge said, they cannot wait. Look at the goldfish, must be happy. Grandpa rushed into the kitchen, and on the big calendar on the wall next to June 28th, he wrote, Goldfish on a Vacation. Look at the big calendar. He wrote under June 28th, Goldfish on a Vacation. That must be exciting. But the children didn't need a calendar to remember. They were already counting the days. Every morning, they rushed to the window, and so did Grandpa. And every morning, they watched a man at the fountain. This is the man at the fountain. I see he's picking trashes, trying to clean the fountain. So the man at the fountain, one morning he was cleaning. The next morning he was scrubbing and scrubbing. Another morning he pulled ivy off the eagle and filled the fountain with clear, cold water. He put it all reeds and then lily pads. And then one morning the children couldn't see him. They couldn't see him because of the children. What do they have? They brought their goldfish in a bowl because all the children crowding around him, all of them waiting to drop off their little fish children. It's today, cheered little O and baby In, and it was. So look at the kids. They're having their goldfish in a bowl. They're about to leave. In one time, they were making their way slowly down in the big stair and out of the front door. Grandpa leading the way. The little O with her net, the baby M with the fish food, and H with the bowl, and Barracuda and Peach and Fish in a wonderful goldfish parade. So everyone is going. Out on the street, everywhere they looked, they were goldfish parents just like them with their goldfish. Look at all the parents having their goldfish with the kids. When at last it was their turn to the fountain, H and baby M and little O told their fish goodbye and see you soon and don't be homesick. Then the man helped them lower the bowl underwater. At first, the fish hung back in the bowl until in a flash of light, they darted and were gone. All the goldfishes in the fountain with the lily pads. You see all these goldfish? They seem so happy, don't you think so? The water shone in the shadow of the eagle wings, and the children saw, glistering in the sunlight, swimming in the clear, cold pool, like sudden glimpse and hidden treasure, fish after goldfish. All through the hot summer, H, little O, and baby M stopped by to say hello to their goldfish, and so did the other goldfish parents. Soon all the children looked forward to meeting each other at the fountain. Every day they played together, and every day Grandpa comes and put his chair down and chatted with the children who sat and listened. And he told them story of those hot August days long ago when he was a boy, and how all the children who couldn't leave the city would jump and splash in the fountain. And then the children wished that they were those children jumping in. Before they knew it, it was the end of summer. The man told the goldfish parents that the only way to catch their fish was to go in the fountain. They waded into the water with their nets. And so all the children took off their sandals and jumped and splashed and laughed in the fountain. Their wish had come true. What do you think? And the grandpa took off his sandals too and rolled up his trousers and paddled. And he said it was like those days long ago when he was a boy. And the children couldn't hardly even recognize their goldfish. They looked like completely different fish. Are they really our fish? Asked little O as they headed home. Oh yes, I am absolutely certain that they are our fish, said Grandpa, who really was not at all certain they were. You look so fat and happy, said H. Of course, said Grandpa. That is what a vacation will do for you. Anyway, who say you have to leave the city to have a vacation. And the children laughed because they knew it was true. And so the goldfish, who may have been Barracuda and Peach and Fish, or some other goldfish altogether were back to the big fish in a bowl. And the children went back to big children in school until the next summer when Hamilton Fountain would once again be filled with lily pads and reds and shiny water and golden fish. And the children, look at all the children will come back with their goldfish in a bowl. The end.
Thank you.
I like this book because I want the goldfish to go for a vacation. What do you think? I'm sure one day we will take our all goldfish also to the fountain.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Meti.
Okay, we'll go to the next story.
Which I think is going to be Alice.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alice Greenberg Sheedy, and I've been coming to the library for a very long time, probably about 20 years now. And I'm on the board of the South Orange Library, which means that I'm part of a group of people, people who come to the library and people who work at the library, and we make decisions about all of the work that the library can do for all the people who come to it. So the book that I wanted to read is a book that I loved as a child. It's called The Penguin That Hated the Cold. And if any of you know of a book hospital, I would really, really like to know about it because this book is so old. It's really starting to come apart. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very, very fragile.
You bring it to the library.
Yeah. Can I visit it?
Yes.
Can I hold its hand?
Yes, we will give it good time and attention and bring it back to, well, not exactly, but we can restore it to
Better health.
better health. Yeah.
All right, so it's The Penguin That Hated the Cold, and it's by Barbara Brenner, and it was published by Random House. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Good. Once there was a penguin named Pablo. He lived on a block of ice far away at the South Pole. The weather there was always cold. Penguins like the cold. Most penguins, that is, but not Pablo. Penguins like to dive and swim and catch fish in the icy water, but not Pablo. Pablo was the only penguin on his block who hated cold. You can see he's making a fire while the other penguins are fishing in the ice and diving into the icy water. All the other penguins went skiing and ice skating, or they played all day in the snow at the beach, but not Pablo. Pablo stayed inside, close to the hot stove. He kept his flippers warm and his feathers warm. Cold weather, said Pablo, is for the birds, the other birds, not me. One day, Pablo said to himself, "It is silly to be chilly. I will go where I can be warm all the time." He put on his skis and packed his stove on his back. "So long, you birds," he said to the penguins. "Wish me luck."
Good luck.
Uh-oh, something went wrong. The stove was pulling him backward. Pablo was going the wrong way. Down the hill he went, faster and faster. He was sliding straight toward a cliff.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
And he doesn't know how to fly.
Nope. Suddenly, Pablo was hanging upside down. His skis had caught on the icy cliffs. Now that was not such a good idea, said the other penguins. Poor Pablo was frozen stiff. They had to carry him home to his igloo.
Oh,
There they held him under a hot shower until he could walk again. The next day, Pablo had another idea. He put hot water bags on his feet and under his coat, and he put them around his neck. So what do you think's going to happen? Do you think this is a good idea?
oh.
So long, you bird, said Pablo. This time nothing can go wrong. But something did. When Pablo stopped to look at his map, the hot water bags melted the snow. They melted the ice, and Pablo sank and sank and sank down into the ice-cold water. Poor Pablo, said the other penguins. He will never get anywhere. When they pulled him out, he was frozen in a block of ice, and that was the way they carried him home. But Pablo's hot stove soon melted the ice. Next day, Pablo said, now I have an idea that will really work. I will go by boat. He got a saw and cut a boat out of the ice under his igloo. He's one very determined penguin with a lot of tools.
Sure.
Inside the igloo, everything was ready for the big trip. His stove was in place, his tub was in place, and he was all set to go. All the penguins on the block came to say goodbye. Then Pablo pulled up his sail and off he went. His boat sailed on through snow and fog and past mountains of ice. Day after day, night after night, Pablo sailed on. Then one morning, he woke up to find that the sun was shining. Hot weather at last! I made it, cried Pablo. He took off his warm clothes. He lay down in the warm sunshine. Oh boy, Pablo said, this is the life.
Oh, he's my kind of penguin.
He needs a vacation like the goldfish.
Yeah.
But Pablo spoke too soon. The hot sun started to melt his house. Then it began to melt his boat. Soon Pablo was floating on a little piece of ice, and he jumped into the tub. But there was a hole in the bottom of the tub, and water began to rush in. Pablo had to pour it out as fast as he could. Quickly, he put the shower pipe in the hole, and the water began to splash out of the shower. Suddenly, the tub started to go full speed ahead, and far away, Pablo saw land and trees.
Wow.
His boat sailed up onto a sandy beach, and Pablo got out. He walked over to a banana tree and picked a nice yellow banana. This looks like a good place to build my house, he said. He collected lots of branches and started building it. At last, Pablo had found the land of his dreams. No more cold for him. And that's the end of the book.
Oh. So can I, first of all, most people, all penguins live in the cold, right? So
I'm sorry,
they don't all live in cold weather.
that is true. They do not.
Right, so that's what we just learned, because people always think that, well, you know, because of just movies or TV or whatever, that they're cold. But I want to ask you, Alice, like, what was it about this book as a kid that really appealed to you?
I think that what really appealed to me is that I was born in Alaska, and learning about a cold place was intriguing to me.
Oh, that's so interesting. And it was a book that was read to you, or you remember
It was
having?
a book that was read to me, and I really, really wanted it. And my parents bought it for me as a Hanukkah present, and I begged and begged for them to give it to me early. And my dad said inside the book, it says you have to wait until Hanukkah. And I really believed him. And when I got the book and opened it up, I expected it to say, like, you had to wait till Hanukkah to get this book.
What a great story. See,
Yeah.
You've saved it, and
yeah, and it lives on, I have two daughters. It lives on one of their bookshelves. And they like to look at it too. But I think I will take you up on your offer and bring it to the book hospital at the South Orange Library. Because it really is, it's literally hanging by 3 threads.
that is a great story. It's a great story it was a great story to listen to, and your backstory is really lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. It was really lovely to be with all of you. I do need to jump off.
Yes.
I'm delighted to be here, and thank you for the invitation.
All right. See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
I don't know if anybody's lined up yet for number 3. Oh, Linda is, right?
Sure. All right. Can you hear me? You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my book that I chose is Rabbit Snow Dance, and this is by James and Joseph Bruchac, who are an Abenaki Indian father and son storytelling duo. The illustrations are by Jeff Newman, and this is published by Dial Books, which I think is a subsidiary of Penguin Random House Young Readers. Okay. Rabbit Snow Dance, a traditional Iroquois story. Long ago, they say, Rabbit did not look like the way rabbits do today. Back then, Rabbit had a very long, beautiful tail. But even though his tail was long, his patience was short. Whenever Rabbit wanted something, he would chant, I want it, I want it, I want it right now. One day, Rabbit was wishing it would snow. Why? With his feet so big that they were like snowshoes, Rabbit could hop right on top of the snow and reach much higher into the trees for tasty leaves and buds. The only problem was that it was summertime, and as everyone knows, it is not supposed to snow in the summer. Rabbit, though, was impatient. I want snow, he said. I want it, I want it, I want it right now. Rabbit knew a special song to make it snow. In the winter, he would sing that song and dance in a circle playing his drum. And it would snow every single time. He had never tried it in the summer because that was not the right season for a snow song, but Rabbit did not want to wait. He ran through the forest to get his drum, chanting, I will make it snow, Azakane po. I will make it snow, Azakane po. Azakane po. That word means it will snow foot wrappers, great big flakes of snow. So when the other animals heard Rabbit singing, some of them got worried. Chipmunk and Squirrel tried to stop him. It is too soon for snow, they said. We haven't finished gathering enough nuts for the winter. But Rabbit ran right past them and kept on chanting, I will make it snow, Azakane po. I will make it snow, Azakane po. Beaver and Turtle looked up from their pond as Rabbit ran by. I haven't finished my dam, Beaver complained. I'm not ready to go to sleep for the winter, Turtle said. But Rabbit ran right past them too, still chanting. Other animals heard Rabbit, but did not believe him. That'll never happen, Moose rumbled. Making it snow in the summer is almost as hard as stopping the sun from coming up, Bear growled. Soon, Rabbit reached his home. He took out his drum and began to sing his snow song as he danced in a circle. E-yo, thump thump, e-yo, thump thump, yo, yo. Small flakes of snow began to fall from the sky. That made Rabbit happy, but there was not enough snow yet for him to reach the tender buds in the branches above him. A little snow is good, Rabbit said. More snow is better. E-yo, thump thump, e-yo, thump thump, yo. Other animals were not pleased. They were small, and the deep snow was now over their heads. Rabbit did not notice their troubles. He just kept on singing. E-yo, thump thump, e-yo, thump thump, yo. Now the snow was so deep that it came up to the chests of the bigger animals. They all rushed for shelter. Soon Rabbit was able to reach those tender buds on the trees, but he was not satisfied. If a lot of snow is good, then a lot more snow will be better, he thought. So he kept on singing. All of the animals had left to find shelter, but Rabbit was too foolish to stop. He just kept on singing and dancing and playing his drum. When the snow had gotten so deep that it covered the tops of all but one of the tallest trees, Rabbit realized he was tired. He stopped singing. I think I need to take a nap, he said. He hopped into the top of that one tall one that still stuck out above the snow and fell asleep. Rabbit slept all night. Even when dawn came, he kept on sleeping. Now the summer sun began to shine. All of that snow began to melt. It melted down below the tops of the trees. It melted down below the middle of the trees. It melted down below the bushes. It melted down below the grass. Soon, all of the snow was gone. The other animals were happy. They came out again and began to do all the things animals do in the summer. Rabbit, though, was still asleep high up in the top of the tallest tree. Finally, near the end of the day, he woke up. Time to hop around on all my snow, Rabbit said. He had not yet wiped the sleep from his eyes. He didn't see that the snow was gone. So when he stepped from the top of the tree, he got a big surprise. Ah! Rabbit fell, and as he fell, that long tail of his caught on one branch after another. Each time a little bit was pulled off. Finally, kaboom, Rabbit hit the ground. His tail felt funny. He turned back to check it and saw that almost all of that long tail was gone. He looked up. Pieces of his tail were stuck on the tips of the tree branches. Ever since then, at the time of year when the snow goes away, you can see those little furry pieces of Rabbit's tail stuck on certain trees. Some call them pussy willows, but those who know about Rabbit's snow dance know what they really are. To this day, Rabbit has a short tail, and even though he still loves the snow, he has learned to be more patient. He no longer sings his snow song in the summertime. However, during the colder months, if you keep an open ear toward the forest, you may just hear a small voice singing this song. E-yo, thump thump, e-yo, thump thump, yo. And when you hear that, you'd better head for home. Soon it will begin to snow.
Well, thank you, Linda. Your sound effects and
Yeah.
were really impressive. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and Jeremy's going to read now. Yeah, great. Hi, Jeremy.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
All right, so my book is Bubblegum, and this was a big book in our house because my kids ended up memorizing this book when they were really small, and then they would pretend to read it. They couldn't actually read, but they would flip the pages at the right time and just kind of recite the book as they went. It's very sing-songy, and I hope you enjoy it. So this is Bubblegum, Bubblegum by Lisa Wheeler, illustrated by Laura Huliska-Beith. We've got a bee stuck in some bubble gum here. And here we've got a goose and a toad blowing bubbles. Bubble gum, chewy, gooey bubble gum, icky, sticky bubble gum, melting in the road. Along comes a toad, a fine fat toad, a fine fat wild splat wart-backed toad. Ew, yuck! The toad got stuck. Sticky toad, bumpy, icky, sticky toad, lumpy, grumpy, sticky toad, sitting in the goo. Along comes a shrew, a bad mood shrew, a bad mood, how rude, tough dude shrew. Yuck! Ew, the shrew's stuck too. Gooey shrew, pointy nose all gluey shrew, stomping, shouting, phooey shrew, can't get loose. Along comes a goose, a wide white goose, a wide white stuck tight no flight goose. Oh no, the goose can't go. Gummy goose, wanted something yummy goose, sticky, gummy tummy goose, can't pull free. Along comes a bee, a buzz bee, a buzz stuck fuzz bumbled up bee. My, oh my, the bee can't fly. Bumblebee, roll around and grumble bee, pull and kick and stumble bee, just can't go. Along comes a crow. An old weathered crow, an old weathered, gum-feathered, loud-mouthed crow. Here comes the crow. Wow, oh wow, the crow's stuck now. Talking crow, loud and loony, squawking crow, crying, cawing, shocking crow, every feather stuck. Along comes a truck. A big blue truck, a big blue coming through honk, honk truck. Now the crow and the toad and the bee and the goose and the bad mood shrew must chew and chew and chew and chew and chew and chew. Whoo! Bubblegum, light and lifty bubblegum, nifty drifty bubblegum, floats them towards the sky as the truck zooms by. One perfect bubble bobbles in the air. Along comes a bear. A big-bottomed bear, a big-bottomed swat got 'em, burly black bear. Pop, plop. Now the crow and the bee and the goose and the shrew and the fine fat toad must hide from the big-bottomed bear with his nose in the air and his great wet mouth open wide. Bubblegum, chewy, gooey bubblegum, icky, sticky bubblegum. There's enough to share. Hey, bear. Oh, what luck! The bear got stuck. Along comes a hen, a red ruffled hen. Here we go again. The end.
That's a good story. Thank you, Jeremy.
And this is published by, you're welcome, this is published by Megan Tingley Books, Little Brown and Company.
Thank you. I'm not sure it's a book we actually own at the library, so we'll have to put it on our list of things to buy because that's a really good read aloud. All right, I'm not sure who our next reader is. We had a couple people lined up. I'm not sure if anybody's out there waiting. Shanice, anybody waiting out there?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, again, let me say the library's open. We want to see everybody. We're so happy to be open, and people are coming in every day to get books, browse books, and please check our www.sopl.org for the calendar updates. And like as I said, Baker's Mayhem, we have a lot of activities. Craft bags are given out every week. We have our puppet shows. We have puzzle pieces that we're giving out, a giant puzzle piece that we're asking you to take home and draw a picture on, decorate, and bring back to us. And we're going to put all the pieces together and see what happens. Okay, see you soon. Bye.
Bye, Beth. Thank you.
Keep reading.